I know. We're supposed to be in the wilderness, Matt, and there's a circular cell running right next to us. We were commissioned by one of our good friends and customers to build this 1983 FJ60. He fell in love with FJ60s back in the early 80s when he was working in Colombia. His company gave him a company vehicle the same year and same color. He won this particular truck on an online auction. When he sent me the pictures and the link, the truck looked amazing. He bought the truck, we got it shipped to our facility. From there, we started our restoration process. We stripped the entire vehicle, we sent the body to the sandblasters, we sent the frame to get powder coated. Once we got the body back, boy, well, we were wrong. There was big damage on the right rear corner of the truck. We had to end up replacing a quarter panel. A couple of the doors were really badly rusted, which were covered with Bondo. But the work that they did was so good that you couldn't notice that until we blasted the vehicle. This just goes to show, even if you have a pristine vehicle, you never know what's underneath. So with the restoration process, it's very important to sandblast the entire vehicle. And that means inside, out, underneath, top, everything. Get all the old paint off, get all the old seam sealer off, and then that way you can start with a solid structure. It was very important to our client to keep the factory color, which is a A61 light metallic blue. On this build, the client wanted to keep the FJ60 as close to stock as possible. So we didn't change a lot on the exterior of the vehicle. We added some fog lights in the front. We also polished those bezels to make them look and blend in with the bumper so you don't really notice them, and kind of gives them that 80s look. We added our billet vents front and rear. We're running Eurospec mirrors along with a trailer hitch and a backup light. As far as the power plant of this particular build, it's pretty standard to our TLC builds. It's an LS3 with a 6L80 transmission. We're running our LS3 radiator. We've also outfitted this particular build with an ARB compressor. So it's got front and rear ARB air lockers. The air intake, we're running our TLC air box. We strive to keep our engine bays clean, all the wires tucked away, everything that's not needed hidden, but we also want to keep it serviceable. For our engine control and engine management, we use a company called SpearTech. By using SpearTech, we can give them the lengths and what kind of terminations we need on the wiring, and they will build the harnesses specific to us. That allows us to hide some of the wiring, tuck it underneath places so that way it's not in your face and noticeable. All of our frame-off restorations come with their unique number. Each vehicle gets assigned a number as soon as it comes into our shop. This one's a number 34 in the build series. So if you're looking for a TLC vehicle, if you're not sure if it's a TLC truck, look for a plaque in the engine bay and it will have our information along with the number of the vehicle. For our brake system, we're running a four-wheel disc brakes, DBA rotors, DBA pads, front and rear. We upgraded the rear drums to disc brakes, just giving it that little extra stopping power. The original chassis was all stripped down. At that time, we welded in new motor mounts, a new transmission mount for the LS3 and 6L80 transmission. After we were done with that, we sent it to our powder coat facility for them to do a two-stage powder coating on the entire frame and all the frame components. Same goes with the axles. We completely stripped them down, rebuild them new. Like I mentioned before, this truck is running ARB lockers front and rear, so we put them in. The housings were two-stage powder coated, assembled back together, and put on to the frame. For the suspension on this particular build, we're running Dobinson MRR suspension, front and rear. The customer wanted the adjustable shocks. That way, if he's doing some off-roading or road driving, he can set his presets on the shocks. We wanted to keep the height of the truck somewhat stock, so we went with a 2-inch lift. We then took the factory Toyota steel wheels, sent them out to get re-chromed. We did all 5 of them. And then once we got them back from the chrome platers, we wrapped them in a 33-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tires. Once the time came for us to do the interior, this particular client had few items that he wanted to add to change this truck up a little bit. He wanted to add heated seats. He wanted rear seat belts. We talked about maybe adding rear headrests or not. He kept the factory FJ60 backs. He wanted some fly rod storage. and he also wanted keyless entry. Once the chassis and the body are mated together and the engine and all the components are in the chassis, the truck will move into the final stages of assembly. From there, we'll start fabricating our custom carpet kit. We'll install a headliner. We'll install our TLC wiring harness. This particular client wanted to keep the dashboard as factory as possible and most of the interior. So we had a couple switches that we had to kind of hide. So we added the ARB switches to the left-hand side of the steering column. The steering wheel was hand-stitched in-house to match the rest of the interior. We're running our TLC gauges. We're running our TLC console. With the console, we added 2 switches in it for the heated seats. We also added the tailgate storage. He wanted to keep 2 fly rods in there, so we made some Velcro straps that can secure 2 fly rods in there. Also, with the overhead lighting, it helps you when you're rigging your rods or tying flies or just getting your waders on to give you a little extra light. And that's about it for this build. If you really enjoyed this kind of content, please like and subscribe to our channels. And if you're interested in build of your own, please contact us to our website or info@tlc4x4.com.